Alright, today we're going to basically work on a comic book style. We have to do a couple of different things to prep the page that we're using. I'm just going to do this little creature that I drew up real quick here. And so the first thing is we need to create some flats. The flats are basically a undercolor of a selection set. Easiest way I always do it is first is you dump a base color in the panel, whatever you're doing. Then we're going to use a selection set and we're going to trace around it. Now you can do different types of things, like I could go and try to do the lasso wand, and then I can invert that lasso wand and you can see I have a good color selection. Now if I basically say go down here, I'm going to pick a different color, I'm going to drop that color in, and we're going to call it a day. Then what I can do is I can do smaller sections. So I'm going to select deselect, and I'm going to start with maybe the eyes here. The key point in this is to keep everything a different color so that when you select it, you have a selection set without selecting other things. This works really great for pretty much anything that you're using with line work. So once our flats are done, we can basically take and build another layer. And this is going to be our base colors. The base colors are basically the foundation of your colors. Now, what I like choosing is I always choose more of a mid-tone. And the reason I choose more of a mid-tone is because you're going to add shadows and you're going to add highlights. So that means you want to have room for the lights and darks. Like that. I'm going to go in and I'm going to grab, I'm holding shift, and I'm going to grab a mid-tone white, but I'm going to grab a kind of dark gray. Let's do a little bit more of a purple. Fill in that color. And then what I'm going to do is choose my other colors. There we go. And so that is my base color. Now, what I need to do is I need to start coloring things. Now, the easiest way I've always found to do this is to basically create a multiply layer. And again, we're going to lock our base color layer so that way we can't manipulate it. And the first thing is this is going to be my shadows layer. And our shadows layer is usually using some sort of brush. I'm going to use small soft edges, and I can either color pick this, and then because it's a multiply, I can I'm gonna grab something like that, and I go back to my base picking, pick my wand, and then go back into my shadows and get my paintbrush, pick my color, and just kind of like so. From this point, it's just rinse and repeat. Just go through, select the selection layer, go back into the shadow layer, and paint. Use the erase. It's much more like digital painting than anything else. Then I'm going to create a new layer. I'm going to put that layer on screen. And with that idea in mind, then I can go in with a lighter version of that color and start kind of adding in some little highlights. With these little highlights, I'm just going through and basically picking the base color and adding it to the screen layer. It's, again, much like digital painting, and you kind of have to understand light and shadow when you're doing this. Next, we're going to change the line work up. This is often done a lot of times in comics when you want something to be de-emphasized. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select the black line work everywhere, kind of around the eyes, and probably skip the mouth, and And that's the basics of comic book coloring. You can go as in-depth or as detailed as you want, but that's the basic process. To recap, create your flats, and those are selection sets. Create your base colors, create a multiply layer with your shadows, add screens, and then do all your changes in the extra layers and the line work. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I suggest you check out this next video.